Titan Tungsten and a New York preview.
Growing up on the water with fishing in their blood, Matt Arey and Bryan Thrift have spent the last 10 years competing against the biggest names in professional bass fishing. Their success has landed them ranked among the top anglers in the world. If you're looking to become a better angler, then this show has all the answers. Join us and follow along to get actionable tips, tactics, and tried and true techniques directly from the pros. Welcome to Let's Talk Fish.
All right, guys, we're back in the studio live, and we have a lot of really cool things to talk about, as usual. We've missed a lot of shows the last few weeks. We apologize. Thrift and my schedule has not collaborated very well. Collaborated, you like that?
Mine either. I've been gone a good bit, too. So
the show doesn't go on without Jeff. Last week, actually, Thrift and myself were in town, but Jeff was out of town, and anybody that knows Thrift and I, we're not technologically gifted people, so the show does not happen without Mr. Jeff Walsh, a.k.a. the Funnel Hacker. And so, special guest tonight, the man behind Titan Tungsten. And if you haven't heard of Titan Tungsten, you will. Actually, if you hadn't heard of Titan Tungsten, you're probably living under a rock. I mean,
absolutely,
realistically. But this is Mr. Josh Perryman.
What's up, guys?
And I want to we're going to get into Titan Tungsten here in just a little bit. A little bit of housekeeping first. First off, if anybody's wondering, well, let me just rephrase that. If y'all live under a rock and you don't know where, then you don't know where Thrift is. If you don't live under a rock, then everybody knows where Thrift is. Thrift Smoke is out there practicing for the Forest Wood Cup on Lake Hamilton, Hot Springs, Arkansas, which starts Friday, if I'm not mistaken. They changed that tournament to a 3-day event. It used to be a 4-day event, but they changed it back to a 3-day event. And it's hot, I can promise you that, because I've been to Hot Springs for multiple cups. It's like probably 100 degrees.
I think it's not hot. Go watch Billy Gatabass Instagram.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Y'all have seen Billy on the show a few times, but go check out Billy. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Leo? Anthony, what's up? Matt Gold, thanks for tuning in. Jude, awesome to have you guys. Shadbird, I like it, Anthony. And Savage Adam, what's up? Bo Adams, my boy, he's in the house. Jim Cole, watching from Charlotte, North Carolina. So watching from right down the road here. I'm gonna challenge y'all. All right, so we have a special giveaway sponsored by Titan Tungsten tonight. That's valued at well over $100. Well over $100, and
closer to 200 than 100.
Okay, closer to 200 than 100. Sorry, and we're gonna go over those products here in just a little bit, but in order for us to give all this stuff away tonight live on the show, I can say this because Thrift yells at me when I tell people to share the show, but y'all got to go share the show. If we hit 200 viewers, which is not many, let's just throw out a number of 200. We hit 200 live viewers. We got like 250 last show, but if we hit 200 viewers, y'all share the show, so we hit 200, and we got a big giveaway planned for each and every one of you tonight. Also, we've had a lot of people asking. We mentioned this on the last show. LTF carpet decals are in stock at ltfgear.com or letstalkfish.com. And
300 views, carpet decal goes with it.
Woo! 300 views?
I mean, 300 viewers.
Oh, 300 viewers. Okay.
We already got 300 views.
All right, so everybody share the show because we want to do a big giveaway tonight. So everybody be sure to share
350 autographed hat. We have one hat left.
Oh, we do.
We have Dudley.
We have the let me show them. Hand me that hat right there, Josh.
That's a deal.
We got a sweet Titan Tungsten hat out here. But yeah, so Jeff just threw in a who's on there? Who is that right there?
Latimer.
B-Lat.
I can't read his handwriting. So reigning AOY, FLW AOY, David Dudley, Thrift is on there. B-Lat's on there. Myself, I'm on there. So Jeff said we'll throw that in too if we hit over 300.
350. 300
350.
carpet decal.
350.
350 hat goes with it.
350. All right.
400 Matt's gonna fly you in, and I don't do all kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. All right. What's up, Theo? He said he's stuck in the field and watching us from the roof of his 7-ton. That's dedication right there.
That's strong.
I like that. Real quick, if you go to our Facebook page, Angler's Choice Marine. We talk about them all the time, guys. If you're in the market for a new boat, check out one of their locations in Lexington, Martinsville, or Spindale. They're great people. If any of y'all have dealt with them before, you know how good people they are. But they got some really cool deals going on right now. They got one little cool deal that Jeff posted on Facebook.
And Facebook.
And Instagram. And it is, if you mention Let's Talk Fish, if you go in there to purchase a boat and you just mention Let's Talk Fish, that's all you got to do is say Let's Talk Fish. Just scream it real loud in the middle of the showroom or something where they can hear you. And you get a $200 retail voucher for the store there. And if you've been to the Martinsville location, they have a really, really cool tackle store now. They keep expanding. Every time I go up there, they got news. We got to get Titan Tungsten in there, by the way.
We should.
Yeah, we need to get Titan Tungsten in there. So, yeah, we'll hook that up. That ain't we'll get that hooked up. All right, so Titan Tungsten. Guys, I have partnered with Titan Tungsten for the remainder of the 2019 season. I've mentioned that before. I'll be partnered with them moving forward in 2020. We got several really good guys on the pro team. We got Chad Pipkins. We've got Jesse Wiggins. We've got Alex Davis. We'll be adding a couple more for 2020. Josh, and what he's done with this company in the short amount of time that he's done it is pretty amazing. Alan Co., I'm not drinking summer shandy. This is actually, I'll show y'all. It's called Daycation IPA. One of my personal favorites. Actually, Jeff got me hooked on this. So, Perryman's over there laughing because all he drinks is like Mick Ultra and.
I drink Sundrop.
And Sundrop. Yeah, you wanted me to get him a Sundrop. So
I almost replaced Thrift's picture on the start screen with yours.
That would be awesome.
So I'm going to let Josh kind of take the wheel here and tell y'all a little bit about Titan Tungsten, and I'll tell you why I use their stuff, but I'm going to let Josh tell you kind of how it got started and where to find them, too. So, Josh, take it away,
man.
son.
I appreciate it. So, I don't know if you remember. I'll tell you exactly to the day how it got started. It was so I started fishing FLW as a co-angler, and we started traveling together. And this was probably 2-3 years ago.
We got paired in a tournament.
We did get very first tournament in Gunnersville. I got paired up with Matt, and we just been buddies ever since. I don't know about buddies, but acquaintances.
We know each other.
Yeah, we know each other. Anyway, so I don't know if you remember exactly how this happened. So we were punching down in Okeechobee, and we had 5 or 6 mixed, 1 3/4 to 2 1/4 weights, and we're sitting there and like, man, I think we need a big one, because it was really thick, and we was having to do the old Kentucky kamikaze, throw it way up there,
throw it up real high,
really throw it up. We're like, man, I think we need a 2 1/4. And Matt said, well, what size weight is that you got? And I said, man, I have no idea. You can hold it in your hand. You try to guess, looking at it to see what size it was. And it was actually your idea, or kind of, I'll give you credit for it. You said, man, what if it had the size on it? You said it'd be really neat if you had the size on the weight. And I said, man, you're right. I said, we ought to dang look into that. So that was 3 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
I think it was two or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what got the ball rolling. Because I'll tell you one thing that I did. I love fishing. It was my goal to kind of go pro. So I was following that co-angler program. And just being around you guys, you and Scott Martin, Thrift, I got to fish with Andy Morgan, Sprague. Just a lot of really, really good anglers. And this whole time, I'm kind of taking notes to myself. I was like, dang, okay, they're using this and they're using this. And all right, so this bait, and all these guys I would fish with, I just kept, making note of what they were using. And tungsten was a big thing. Every place we went, tungsten played a role in it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what got it going. I had a bunch of businesses, crazy businesses over the years. I've had a computer security business. I used to tune on motorcycles and just a little bit of everything. But I felt really strongly about this, and I felt like we could come up with the best tungsten weights on the market. Because I think what we did is we tried to solve 2 main problems. The first one is having the size on the weight. Nobody was doing that.
And while you're talking about this, let me pull out our potential giveaway.
Oh, the
box.
potential
We're at 150-something eyeballs right now, so we got to get to 200, y'all. We told you if you don't share the show, we don't get 200. We're not giving all these goodies away.
Exactly.
We got a whole box. That includes the Titan Tungsten hat, sun gloves. I'm just going to show you what's in the giveaway box. And then this
Totten box.
Of course, a few logos. Oh yeah, the Titan box. We got to throw that out
Totten
there.
box.
This little deal here is pretty cool. This is what I actually carry all my drop shot weights in. But this little Titan box that Josh has started selling, if you look on the inside there, you talk about a good way to organize your actual tungsten. I've got all my drop shot weights organized in these boxes right here to go up north, getting ready for St. Lawrence River, where I'll be doing obviously a lot of drop shotting. But let me show you the weights, because that's the coolest thing. That's what Josh was talking about. So we've got nail weights, of course. I'm gonna pull a weight out of the pack.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be able to see it. So what I might get you to do is let me get a bigger one here. We got all kinds of goodies in here. These are all tungsten weights that we're going to give away tonight. So here's one of our flipping weights. Get the pack open.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll walk around there and show it to the camera.
Yeah.
How about I just grab one and bring it over?
There you go.
Okay. Jeff's going to grab a camera and bring it over.
So
go ahead.
So the thing when we looked to start this company, we looked to solve some problems. So the number one problem we wanted to solve was the size, having the size on the actual weight itself. That is, like Matt says, that makes you more efficient. And so when you're more efficient on the water, means more cast means more fish means more money. So that's the number one thing that the problem that we tried to solve is having the size on the weight.
So they can see the weight up close, so they can see that the weight's stamped.
Absolutely.
And this is a 3/4. I had to look at and make sure I said it right.
Yeah.
But it's not only got the actual weight stamped on it, but it's got our Titan shield on it. It's got our actual company logo on it. So on top of that, tell them about the coating.
So the next thing is I have a background in coding. So I had an office. My first office ever. I had a web company, and it was out of a company called United Plating in Huntsville. So I spent every day for a couple of years learning about coding, anodizing. So I knew, what the second problem we wanted to solve was nobody wants to pay, a decent amount of money for a weight, and then the first time you use it, you come back and all the paint's off of it.
Yep.
Then it's shining. You can try to take a magic marker or something to it to try to get you by, but it's garbage really after that. So the second problem that we wanted to solve is the coating. So what we come up with is we call it the Totten Coding. So it's a mixture. It's a permanent coating. So you can take that thing and we went through a couple different variations till I felt like we got it perfect. So back in the warehouse we have a concrete floor that's not sealed. So it's kind of like sandpaper. It's rough. So the first thing I did when we get these weights back and we're dialing this coating in is I took it and I just rubbed it, just scrubbed it onto that rough concrete just to see how it would do. And basically, you have to really bear down on it to even make it leave a black mark. So that tells me, that it's not taking that coating off. You really got to beat on it. I actually saw a post today in our Totten group. A guy's been using the same weight for nearly 2.5 months. And it looks like the day he took it out.
Looks just like it did when it came out of the package.
No nicks, no nothing. So to me, that's huge.
Well, and Derek Westfall, who's one of our regular viewers, what's up, Derek? He said one of the biggest problems he has is remembering what line is on each reel and knowing which size weight he has tied on. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. And this is just a simple solution, especially when it comes to drop shotting. And that's a big deal, especially if you're catching suspended fish. A lot of us have caught a lot of fish on the fall, whether it's a jig head, whether it's a Texas rig, whether it's a drop shot, and the fall rate is extremely important. And if you don't know what size weight you were using when you go to lose it or whatever, and you go back to digging in your box and it was a 5/16 instead of a quarter, I know that's not much difference, but I promise you that makes a difference in those bites, especially on the fall. But yeah,
absolutely.
Go ahead.
And to that point, one other thing we did, we don't buy this stuff out of a catalog. We had everything that we sell is a premium product that we've designed, tested. So one thing you'll notice, we fill a lot of gaps in sizes, like 3/32 flipping weight or worm weights, and nobody has those sizes. And for your point is because those guys are really trying to dial that specific fall rate in. We fill the gaps in between a lot of the common sizes. So that's another thing that we did. Having the size on it, having a permanent coating that's not going to chip off. Weight. If you don't lose it, that thing is going to last you. It's bad for us. We want to sell weights. But it's good for anglers because, man, if you don't lose that thing, it's going to last you a long time.
Absolutely. And there's nothing I hate more, and I know a lot of you guys and gals are like this, is when I open up one of my Bass Mafia terminal tackle boxes or whatever I got all my weights in, especially my big weights, flipping and punching weights, is I open that box up and the weights have been rolling around because I've been riding 50 miles, and they're all silver instead of black. Yeah. I mean, I'm anal when it comes to stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Like I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my weights. If sometimes I get so bad, which I know it doesn't make that big a difference to the fish, probably 95% of the time, but I get so bad when I have a weight that I've been using in practice, and it's got like one chip out of it, like the size of a pinhead, and it's silver showing on my black weight or my green pumpkin weight or whatever it is. I take it off and I put a new one on. Like, that's just how I am. So, Savage Adams asking about Demiki rig weighted hooks. So you're asking about like Ned heads or Nico heads. Let us know what you're asking about, Adam, because we got a lot of different stuff in the works with Titan. We got some really awesome tungsten jigs that'll be launched here this fall, hopefully this fall. There are a lot of really cool things in the works. I mean, you're talking about shaky heads, you're talking about nail weights. I mean, all that stuff we've got, bullet weights, flipped weights. But this is going to keep going, and very innovative company. Josh has done a lot with this company in a short amount of time, and there's a lot of cool things in the works too. So I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm not going to lie, but it makes my job a lot easier, and I can be a lot more efficient. Our biggest thing, and Thrift says this all the time, is efficiency. And what makes us more efficient is having all our gear in order, having it all organized, having all our rod and reels lined up correctly, but being able to know the little things like what size weight I was throwing, and when I go to reach into my box, what's up? Oh, I thought you said something. I'm sorry. He doesn't say much, so when he does,
I'm just listening.
I got to make sure.
It's hard to get a word in around this one.
But
if y'all hadn't figured it out,
I'm full of words. I don't even, man. Thanks, Jeff.
See there?
Appreciate it.
So I
don't even know where I was going with this. Oh,
full stride.
It's just as far as efficiency. Just reaching in my box to get another weight the same size. I don't have to worry about or wonder if I'm getting the same size. Don't have to hold it up side by side to the other one to
try to guess, because the tungsten is a lot smaller than lead, about 30 to 35% smaller. So definitely when you're getting down, say you're in Florida and you're swimming a worm or something, 16th ounce, those smaller weights, it's absolutely hard, to try to guess what size you got.
Yep.
Especially if you're trying to dial it in. Say you had to wait and you're like, oh man, I just need one size bigger, and you don't really know exactly what size you got.
And tungsten is definitely the way of the future. I mean, if you look at, there's a lot of states that already outlawed lead products. That's just going to continue to expand. I mean, I don't foresee it not. So I mean, tungsten. If you hadn't jumped on the tungsten train, not just because it's better for the for our world, for our economy, not our economy but our earth, it truly is. It will truly get you more bites. I mean, I promise you. If you'll just change out your whole arsenal, whether you use lead jig heads, lead jigs, lead bullet weights, and it's simply, there's a couple things: the sound, the simple size. There's a lot of different factors on why tungsten can get you a few more bites out there, and that's what it's all about to me, is always getting one more bite than my competitor does. So,
and I'll tell you a good thing that actually Brad White, my partner in the Redfish Cup, Brad, I don't know if you've met Brad, Josh, but he called me yesterday and said, you know what, we use a lot of nail weights in saltwater, but he was taking a lead nail weight out of his bait, and it just gets brittle and breaks.
Oh, absolutely. So, that's a good point.
Durability. And the Titan does not do that. So he made up a good point, and wanted to make sure that I let Josh know that. But, didn't get brittle and break up.
Yeah. And one more thing. When tungsten weights first came on the market, a lot of the manufacturers used inserts.
Environment. Thank you, Anthony.
a lot of them had inserts in them, and a lot of guys had problems with line fray, with them breaking off, especially on the bigger ones. So, that's another thing that was key. So after we make the weights and after they're coated, we do a diamond hone process. That's the last step in it. So if you ever get our weights and you look down in it, you can kind of see where the hone has went through and smoothed it out. And it takes any kind of casting lines or if there happen to be any kind of imperfections or anything like that on the inside, it takes all that out. So they're super smooth on the inside.
So your tungsten is polished with diamonds?
Diamonds.
That's legit.
Double diamonds.
So what's that called again? I didn't know that.
I know
they're polished on the inside.
Yeah, it's a diamond honing process because I forget. Arey, I mean, there's some guys that's going to know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's a certain way to judge the hardness of a metal. I think it's a Arey rating or something like that. So
sounds good.
The only way that you could take this, because these things are super, super hard. That's tungsten's one of the hardest metals there is. Besides, there's something else above it. It's way over my pay grade. No, like. God, I can't think of it. But anyway, it's one of the hardest metals there is. So the diamond hone is the only way that the problem is it eats a lot of them up, so that does increase costs. But that is the only way you can take it and put that polish on the inside. So there's absolutely no casting, no lines, no nothing on it. So we never had any problems with having any kind of line fray.
Interesting. Okay, so I learned something new every day. We're bouncing around 170, 175. Guys, I done told you we got to get 200 to give this this big tungsten giveaway that we've got. So let's be sure to share the show so we can get to 200 viewers. We can give a bunch of stuff away. All right, so as far as the products, we won't talk about all the other stuff we got coming out. TJ did ask an Arky style jig. We're working on a full line of football, swim jigs, and casting jigs, a.k.a. dock jigs. Mm-hmm. All tungsten, obviously, all with premium components. We will hopefully have some stuff coming out, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 months, if not sooner.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. But the dock casting jig will be our first one. It will be similar to an Arky style head. You'll see it. I think you'll be very happy with it, TJ, when we do launch this jig. The reason it's taken us a while is because Josh can tell you I'm pretty nitpicky when it comes, and since I'm kind of in charge of designing the jig, everything's got to be perfect on it. I mean, we don't want to launch this thing until it's absolutely perfect, and that's from the head style, head shape, to the hook, to the keepers, to the skirts, how they're tied, everything. So
down to how many strands?
Down to how many?
That's the truth. Y'all have no idea.
Down to how many strands of rubber we're actually using in the skirts. So
it's awesome though. I mean,
by the way, what do you
13,
have in that cup right there?
13 strands. Oh boy, so I've been fortunate to hang out here with Jeff today and here in the Let's Talk Fish studio. So I walked outside today. I heard something and I thought it was one of his targets, and it was a deer. It right there by the fence. Sure enough. So anyway, so I was looking at the deer, trying to do the old redneck stare down, and it run off, and I just happened to look down in the wheelbarrow, and it's full of tadpoles.
Full of tadpoles.
Yeah.
That's how we save money around here. That joker's expensive to feed.
Yeah, because we went to the pet store today.
So what are you saying? You started raising tadpoles in the backyard to feed Wilson?
You got to cut cost.
Cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all have ever tried catching tadpoles out of a wheelbarrow, but I mean I think it's Rocky 2. You remember Rocky 2 where he's chasing the chicken? Mick says, if you want to be fast, Rock, you got to chase the chicken. You got to catch it. Well, you go try to catch some tadpoles in the wheelbarrow, man. It's tough. You can't stir the water up. I'm excited about this.
So Josh has a cup full of tadpoles that he's been working hard to catch in the wheelbarrow in Jeff's backyard. And I guess water's been sitting in that wheelbarrow for a while.
I've been growing them for a couple months.
But they're still not very big. So that's right, Anthony. Wilson is about to eat. Look at him. He's fixing to come out of the water. You got the camera. Hold on. Wait till Jeff's got the camera on.
I got it. Go ahead.
All right. So we're gonna dump. Where is the water gonna hurt? Is the water gonna hurt it?
No, water gonna hurt a fish.
No, it came out of your wheelbarrow, man. So we're gonna dump the tadpoles in and let Wilson have a little snack.
Don't put water on the fish.
Oh, he's ready.
Look at him.
I'm going all in.
He's not real excited about them.
He's
Hard for him to zero in those
Yeah,
little
he's
bitty
still-
things.
This is like the 5th time he's eaten today.
Got that one. Oh, they're like chicken nibblers.
Yeah, I've been catching them all day.
Look, whoop, got him.
He's like, I gotta eat.
They
again.
are. They're like little.
They're not full grown yet.
I mean, literally, this is probably the 5th time he's eaten today.
Oh,
That's
man,
an appetizer. Look, he's sucking one off the bottom there.
Oh, he will get after them.
Wilson, tell Josh thank you.
My buddy.
That's Jimmy. I hear you on the big 8-point and nice 6-point on your land. Might be making a special trip to Arkansas. I'm missing you, buddy, this year by not being at the Cup too. He is spoiled, Leland. He actually ate. What did he eat earlier today, Jeff?
He ate
Crawfish.
crawfish.
Y'all bought him some crawfish?
Yeah,
Dang,
one.
y'all, y'all hooked him up.
You
What one
gotta-
of the white ninja crawfish?
You got to catch the truck
regular.
right.
Regular
So
crawfish.
they had a few feeders left, crawfish, and then like 40,000 tadpoles.
Yeah. So Anthony, we definitely need to get a new weight on Wilson because he is getting big
he's
Rolling,
fast.
man. I couldn't believe how big he was.
He's definitely getting
He's
bigger.
probably
Brian.
doubled in size.
Frog farming.
About 7 pounds?
He looks like Pac-Man eating them.
He's a good 6'9".
That's a good reference, James, because he's just like he doesn't attack them like he does a fish or a crawfish. He just kind of
He's like, I gotta eat again. That's like his 5th time.
he's like a cat though. I think if we keep feeding him, he probably eat himself.
That's like
to
you
death.
eating Thanksgiving dinner 3 times.
I do that. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but do you run to your plate the 3rd time?
No. I usually just lay there. Yep. I get it. Alan Roberts said it looks like his diet, eating small portions at a time. You're right, Leland. I think it did. He ate some earlier. He's just eating a lot today, like Jeff said. He's eating all kinds of goldfish feeder fish. We want to be
Don't let Hadley
Right.
hear you say goldfish.
politically correct.
It's feeder.
But that's right, Tony. He slurped them down, buddy. All right. Baby ducks, Adam. We don't have a surplus of
What
baby
about
ducks,
some baby ducks?
running around
Who's
here
that, Ed
anywhere.
Bassmaster?
But yeah, tadpole nuggets. That's right, John. That's
Yeah.
a good name for.
We need to get Ed Bassmaster on the show.
We do need to get Ed Bassmaster on the show. He is that dude's a character, man. All right, Brian said, "What's up, Josh?" He said,
What's up, Brian?
He just saying, "Hey,
Oh, Brian Collins, my buddy.
Luke Garcia's made a couple comments about 3X shirts. What the biggest shirts we have?"
Is he talking about LTF shirts or Titan shirts?
Well, let's start with LTF. What's the biggest we have?
We might have 2X left.
Okay, so we might have some.
We
Let's
only
Talk
had a
Fish
handful
2X
of 3X.
shirts left. Do you
Well,
have any 3X?
We got up to 5X.
You got up to 5X. I hear you.
Luke, are you talking about
Are they in
LTF
stock?
or
Yeah, they are in stock.
Okay,
or
they're in
Titan?
stock.
LTF or Titan, Luke?
Tractor Supply or Rural King? What's that for, Adam? Because I'm gonna tell you something about Rural King. Oh, he's telling me where to buy baby ducks.
Oh
I can't go in there and buy a bunch of baby
we
ducks.
can't do it.
And feed them to that bass. I
The
cannot do
rat
it.
or mouse is bad
I
enough.
can- That is funny. Adam said, Psh, if y'all hadn't watched that Ed Bassmaster episode
LTF.
where he
I'll
goes,
I'll see if we have any 3X. I
Yeah.
think most of them were.
David said no 3X and LTF, so he answered the question for it. I think the biggest we had was 2X.
I think we had maybe a dozen 3X, and they all went at the Classic.
Okay, all right. Josh Waters said he's shooting his bow, listening to us.
That's pretty awesome.
My man.
Pretty
All right, so am I leaving anything unturned with Titan? We still got all this cool stuff to give away, but we hadn't even got close to 200. I mean, we're still bouncing around that 170 to 180 mark, so we got to hit 200, y'all, or we're not giving this stuff away. And like I said, we got all kinds of weights, gloves, sun gloves, hat. We got the Titan box. So y'all better get us up to 200. I know you're trying.
We had some really good comments. I saw a post in our group today about these gloves.
About the
And,
sun gloves?
Yeah, man. And one guy was just asking people's opinion about them, and I was really impressed to see all the good feedback. Because that's one thing you guys know when, and you remember when we had the first prototypes. I showed you these. We looked at them, and we went back 3 different times on logo placement.
Just on logo
Just
placement, yeah.
on how far, and I put them on, we look at them, and I think the details like that go a long way, so.
100%. I've used them, and I love them. I mean, I love them. They're very durable. I used them, actually, the entire Gunnersville tournament.
You forget they're on, that's one thing I noticed.
Absolutely. Very comfortable. And they're important. I mean, guys, I can't I mean, as far as sun protection for your hands, you'd be surprised how many people don't think about their hands. And I try to wear more sun shirts, kind of like what I got on, than T-shirts. I do wear a bunch of T-shirts sometimes when it's just hot as Hades outside. Sometimes I'll throw a T-shirt on or something. But wearing those sun gloves is a big deal. A lot of guys that I know that are in their 40s and younger have had a lot of skin cancer issues that spend all their time out fishing. So whether you use our stuff or not, I mean, just take care of your skin, guys. Wear sunscreen.
And another thing is, who hasn't been through the sponsor funnel? Because I know you have a sponsor funnel out where you can apply to be on the Titan team, get discounts.
That's right.
First in line with new releases, all the latest and greatest. If you haven't applied to be sponsored by Titan, let us know in the comments, and if not, I'll try to find a link maybe to drop in there. But just let us know, and if there's a good many of you, I'll go get the link and drop it anyways. But just want to make sure everybody. You want to talk a little bit about that program, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Titan's always looking for field staff, pro staff,
right,
and national team staff. Which national team is the top tour level guys. You can break it down to what the pro team and the field staff guys are.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the beauty of this is I didn't go to college for all this fancy stuff. I'm just kind of doing this on what I feel like, how it should be done, and the things that I've seen over the years that I didn't like. And one thing I didn't like, I've had a bunch of different sponsors over the years, and the one thing, especially for my level, amateur type guys that are trying to come up, the first thing that most everybody looked at was how many followers you got. How many followers you got on Instagram, how many followers you got there. And that's one thing, I didn't want our guys to be purely looked at as an ad, because there's lots of guys that are just sticks. They're not super active on social media.
Well,
but
and something you pay attention to is not just – I mean, there's guys out there – we know how the game works, and there's guys out there that might have 10,000 followers, but their engagement is not there.
Absolutely.
And those are – a lot of times those are not fake accounts, but they're fake followers. They're bought followers.
Right.
And I've seen guys that are more valuable with 5,000 followers than guys with 25,000 followers.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have seen that. So
absolutely.
Go ahead.
And your traditional sponsor program like that just purely, looks at your number of followers first. It don't take into account into your guy that's fishing a Tuesday night or every week, down at the boat ramp, and really believes in the products and it's like, hey, man, have you seen the, look, I'm going to show you a little something. I've been catching them on this drop shot weight. Check out this new line tie they got, getting companies into tackle stores and things like that. So we wanted to take a different approach, because one thing I learned hanging out with you guys is the importance of information, talking to each other, talking to other pro anglers, hey, what are you catching them on, so
the Titan group is awesome. It's like almost 8,000 people in there, and it's a passionate group of people, and they share information,
and they help each other all day long, every day.
Absolutely.
It's pretty awesome.
All right, we hit 180, guys. We hit 180. We're still 20 shy of this big Titan giveaway.
I just want to make sure you knew about the group. If you hadn't, go join the group. I think you can apply to join the group, or it may come with the sponsor fund. I'm not sure, but the group's awesome.
Yes, and we had some really, really, I try to look at the group all day and respond to things myself. And one example we had today was a gentleman that had served in the military, and he had PTSD, and just had some tough times. And he was honestly said that he signed up, he joined the group, and he's met 3 or 4 guys in his area from that's also Team Titan, and they've just been hanging out, and it's really helped him. So that was that kind of stuff means a lot to me. And the other side of it is, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring each other up as anglers. So angler development. We're going to be sharing a lot more techniques and getting our pro guys like Matt to drop some tips. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Matt do a video on like skipping docks or throwing a jerkbait?
I don't know about that.
I mean, I would.
Count on Jeff.
I'm kidding.
He's here to bash people. He's not here for anything.
Oh man,
and to run the computer.
I'm kidding. He's
and
awesome.
To drink his Coke
nuts.
Zero sugar.
So that was just the vision, and hey, it's a big kind of experiment. We try, that's the great thing about what we're doing is we're not scared to try new things. But we want to. We want to also promote the anglers and build them up, give them exposure, and also do a lot of angler development stuff. And we want to grow as a team. And I don't know, I'm a big Alabama fan, and to me it's kind of like being an Alabama fan in a way. You have that bond. You can meet somebody across whatever college football team, or it's kind of the same thing. So you could run into somebody at a gas station in New York that had your team's hat on, and you instantly kind of have somewhat of a bond, Right. So that's what we kind of wanted to do. We wanted to build this team. I'll be honest. We wanted to build this team that just dominates. To every these little tournaments, Tuesday nighters. There's, that was my vision is to have this team that helps each other and we get better together. And
I have honestly never, and this is just from my experience, and I'm not blowing hot air or anything like that. I mean I'm serious, and I mean this because I've been fishing professionally full time now. With fishing being my only career, my only job for 12 years. And I have never seen a company with people that were so passionate about the product and so willing to help each other and to grow this thing as fast as they've done. And what they've done in, 7 months?
Yep.
7 or 8 months has been astronomical. I mean, I've never seen this in this industry. I've never seen this kind of growth in this industry. I've never seen this kind of passion in this industry about a product. And I became a part of Titan because it's good stuff. I mean, what we do for a living, and we take it very seriously, but it is the best out there, and for many reasons, some of what we explained tonight. But go on the website, check it out. We dropped the link. Jeff, you did drop that link, didn't you?
Yeah, I can drop it again.
Jeff will drop the link again just so it's in the feed again. You can go on there and fill out an application to be.
I don't know if it's a clickable link, but you can type it in. I'm not sure if it.
I don't know. You can copy and paste it. But join the group because, like they said, man, I've never seen a more passionate group of individuals that are willing to not just share their experiences on the water, but to actually help each other. They're so willing to help each other. And like Josh said, these guys are building relationships all throughout the U.S., outside of the U.S., Canada.
Yeah, we sold a lot to Canada. We've sold a bunch of different countries. I mean, the main, 98% of our stuff is in the U.S., but I'll tell you how much it's starting to get around. I had a buddy of mine. He was out in Vegas 2 weeks ago.
God, you had to mention Bama.
I know. I got him fired up.
From Anthony and
Roll Tide.
Anthony Randall's 73% on board now. After you mentioned
he was 100 until you mentioned Alabama.
So he was out in Vegas, and he went to see Aerosmith, and he texted me a picture. He goes, "Man, you won't believe it. I'm here in Vegas. I'm at Aerosmith, and I just saw a Totten Tungsten hat in front of me." And to me, that is awesome, man, to see this dream. And I'll tell you a little bit of inside. I'll tell you a secret.
Let me just do something real quick. John Long's asking for a discount code, but I'm pretty sure they can. If you go through the sponsor form, you can get free weights. You just help a little bit with the shipping.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So that's better than a discount code.
Absolutely. We got a deal.
Y'all
still
running
on.
The free weight deal?
We have a deal going on. $4.99. We have you pick the size of the weights you want. $4.99 to your door. I mean, you can't buy the cheapest weights out there that are painted for that.
Right.
So shipping. You're
paying $3 or $4 for shipping, and you're paying $5-6 for a pack of weights.
Absolutely, you just pay for shipping, and we're so confident that you're going to love the weights that we're giving you the product for free. So that's $4.99. So that's.
Awesome. And how do they find that? Is that on the Titan Tungsten website?
I think that's through the sponsor form. At the back end of the sponsor form, you'll have an opportunity to do that.
Yes, absolutely. We started off just with team members, and we do that. That's the one beauty about the team is like this cannonball drop shot weights that we developed. So it's a round drop shot weight, and I love that from Gunnersville. That's my absolute favorite. So, and I wanted a round line tie. I don't like the pinch. I know a lot of guys do.
Well, that's something else though. When Josh and I got in a little heated debate about whether you like let's hear from y'all. You like a round line tie on your drop shot weights, or do you like the cinch style? And I like the cinch style for numerous reasons. Josh prefers the line tie style. Mm-hmm. Actually, Canterbury, my running mate, likes both, depending on what he's fishing. But the good news is that Titan has all of it covered. We offer both, and every drop shot weight that we have, you can get
pinch
either style.
Or
you can
round.
get pinch or round.
You call it cinch?
cinch.
I call it pinch.
Well, cinch or pinch.
Either way.
I mean, you're cinching your line in there.
or
Essentially,
it's
you're
pinching
cinching
it.
your line. There's a lot of
That's why I don't like them, because it does pinch the line.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but what's that matter? Because the whole
Well, 'cause
point,
I use
the whole
small
point, the whole
line.
point is to lose your weight instead of your hooking bait if you get hung.
Yeah,
You mean the
well, it
rhyme?
depends. No, it
Huh?
depends.
It's like a rap song.
Sound like a rap song? Well, it might be writing one. Maybe
See,
I
what
start jotting some
that's
notes.
why I like that round one, because I like, I'm really good at getting hung up and broke off, like on Smith Lake, somewhere like that. I'm trying to flip around in brush.
I'm
and
seeing a mix. I'm seeing some pinch.
About
mostly
50-50 so
round.
far.
I'm sure it's
And I'm
mostly
seeing
round.
some. No, it's about 50-50. David, Leland,
That's-
Anthony, James, they're all pinch or cinch styles. Alan Coe, Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, Justin, they're all round line ties. So
My boy
and
Cato.
I see the advantage for both. Did you pay some of these guys to get on here? And say
No,
that? Oh,
that's
okay.
my man. He's a big
All right,
stick
all right,
from
I'm just-
inland.
Hey, we about hit 190, y'all. We're
we're getting there. Y'all hit the share button.
Yeah,
we
hit
got
the
some
share
stuff
button.
we're going to
I mean,
give away.
All we're asking is to hit 200. We're at 190 right now, so 192. I'm watching it. I'm watching those eyeballs.
So I'll tell you how I like to do it, and this because I
Travis
got
Lowe said he's pinched a few off.
I got I mean I used to break off a lot, and I still do, but what I've done is I use I think Robo Worm makes it's anyway a straight shank drop shot worm. It's got a little keeper on it, so I put that through, pull it down, and then with the tag in, I like the round, just the round style tie. So I put it through the tie, I twist it once, sometimes twice, and then just do a half hitch in it. Boom, done. I can literally do that while I'm talking to somebody. I don't have to look at it. You know, that's
John
just-
Long nailed it. Thank you, John. He said pinch. It's more efficient. Ha ha.
Ah, see, And
Got him.
I'll tell you why.
By the way, Shannon Lewis said they lost a lot or everything they had to a house fire.
Oh man.
Him and his wife, Shannon Lewis, will definitely keep y'all in our thoughts and prayers.
Hey Shannon, send us a message. I wanna send you some gear if you just give us a shout. Send me a message. I want to send you some a hat and some weights and stuff.
What? How can they send you? You send it directly to you or send it to Titan?
Yeah, or Totten Tungsten, or even Let's Talk Fish. I'll get one of these guys to forward it to us.
Yep.
But,
Shoot us a message.
I've been there myself, so. So I used to fish with Seaguar makes this real light, like 4.8 or real light line, and I never. And hey, maybe it's just because I don't understand the pinch. You know what I would end up doing before the round is I would take that, and I couldn't never cinch it up through it. Always just cut it. You know what I mean? Like it would. I
You
would
had
get
bad line, son. That's before you went
No.
to P line.
Well, yeah,
That's
I do
before you
like-
went to P line.
I do like P line.
Yeah.
But so that's I'm just old rookie, and I put it through there, and I try to cinch it down. Every time I try to cinch it, boom, it cut the
Too
line.
strong. You don't know your
I know
own
strong
strength.
like
Luke
bull.
Garcia, I do still fish Moss Lake. Actually, myself and Andy Green from up there in Spindale at the English Choice location up there. He's a service manager up there. Him and I fished a little derby out there last Thursday night, as a matter of fact. But I try to get out in the moss as much as I can. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Just addressing those
That's all
questions.
180, 190.
We hit 190 a couple times. We actually got to 192.
So-
but that's still 8 short of 200.
So
if my
I'd be
math's
sitting
correct.
there in my boat, and I would be trying to pull that cinch down. Every time I do it, bam, it cut it again. Next thing you know, I got about this much of a tag in left. So what I would end up doing was I would still tie that same loop overhand knot on the cinch, and I just felt that wasn't efficient for me. That's my preference. And-
ever since you said Alabama, we've lost viewers.
oh,
Anthony
no.
Rendell went from 73, I believe, down to 68 since you said round tie.
Well,
Oh man, excuse me. We all right. We're hovering around 180. We got how much?
That's
time
like
we got?
cutting the legs on a frog to walk it.
We,
He said we need a pole.
we got about 15 minutes left for the show, guys. So keep sharing. We got to hit that 200 mark. I really do want to give all this Titan stuff away. A lot of really cool stuff. I'm telling you, whoever gets these gloves box and all these weights is going to be on cloud nine. And with just 200 people, I like your odds. Now that will go to the winner of our trivia question, and I feel like I got a pretty good one for tonight.
Do you?
I think I do. It is a BASS related question. I'll just drop one hint,
Okay.
Jeff. I'm not
Derek
giving the answer
Westfall,
away.
that's pretty awesome. He asked Shannon to. I think Shannon just dropped his address, but Derek said he was going to send him some of his own.
Very
tackle
cool.
that's
gear
awesome.
too,
Very
so
cool.
That's
That is-
awesome.
That's very cool. And I tell you what, we'll see what ends up happening tonight. But we may just send this whole Titan package to them.
If we don't reach 200,
Yeah,
If we don't reach 200, we're gonna send it all to and of course we may not try to reach 200 just to help Shannon Lewis out. So
yeah, we might already have.
But regardless,
the answer to
they're going to get a package from Josh anyway.
Absolutely.
Titan, so we're at 195. We're getting ready to cross the 200 mark. So maybe we're giving away 2 packages tonight. Jeff
Rick Clunn, 1996.
KVD 1991.
Tyler Calloway. Yeah, we got to
We
hit.
still got 15 minutes and they're already rolling in.
Yeah, we're at 191. All right, stop with the
ready.
trivia answers because we are not there yet. We still have about 10 or 12 minutes. Real quick, anybody has any questions about? I can't answer many questions about the cup and practice. Thrift is thrift. If anybody knows Smoke, like I know Smoke, everybody wants to know how he's doing in practice. I ain't had a bite and I ain't caught a bass.
I was about
and
to
this
say,
place
I can
sucks.
tell you how he's doing. in
That's
practice.
exactly what he said. It's terrible. It's terrible. But he'll probably win if anybody wants to know. So I'm sure the lake's fishing tough. If it's anything like Lake Ouachita was, I fished Ouachita 3 or 4 times in several cups in August there. And it's going to be a mix. I can guarantee it's going to be a mix of shallow and deep. That lake is only – we hit 200. We hit 200.
Sorry.
All right. We
201.
just surpassed the 200 mark. So
204.
we are giving away the
I just
Titan
need to say Alabama again.
package. Don't say Alabama again. You're going to drop us down to like 0. We're going to be in the negative column. So Shannon, Josh is still going to send them a package.
Absolutely.
So we'll give this
Absolutely.
package
And drop
away
your
to the-
shirt size and stuff too for you and your wife or whoever.
Yeah,
give us some sizes.
Send them
too.
a couple T-shirts. Let's Talk Fish T-shirts. So we're going to put together a package for Shannon Lewis. But since we hit 200, we're also going to give this this Titan tungsten package valued at probably around.
I think Shannon's going to be getting a few packages. I think the LTF family and the Titan family.
There you go.
Is probably
There you
going to
go.
take
So-
care of Shannon as much as we can.
So we'll get them
Absolutely.
wrapped up with something nice and sweet. We hit 200, so we're
That's
going to give
awesome.
away the Titan package to our trivia winner tonight. But back to Hamilton, it's going to be. I imagine it's going to be a fairly low weight tournament, 10 to 12 pounds a day. Probably going to be really strong. I'm not there, so I obviously can't speak for the guys that are practicing there. But I did see TJ. I did see Dudley's leg gushing blood. I think he's whining a little bit. You know, you know what he tried to do? His boat was floating away from the dock or something, and I think he tried to jump to it, and he didn't realize how old he was, and he missed it. And when he did, he hit his leg. He hit his leg pretty hard. It was gushing blood, but he's all right. Dudley's a tough man. Current AOY FLW Angler of the Year, and wouldn't surprise me at all if he went and won this cup either. I mean, the guys won a cup before. So it's gonna be a fun tournament to watch. I'll promise you that.
1,000 casts, 1,000 failures.
That's right.
That's what he said?
That's
Remember
exactly
that?
what he said. Yep,
Buddy, shake your
absolutely,
head.
absolutely. All right, so we're over 200 viewers now. The Cup will be a lot of fun to watch because it's a 70-something 100-acre lake, and you got 50 fishermen on it. And those guys,
tight quarters.
The shallow fishing is going to be interesting to watch to see how those guys manage their fish. Because one thing that I'm looking at is I'm looking at a lot of those guys to go shallow for the first day for sure, you know, and pick off those easy fish. And then as the tournament progresses, you know, it's only a 3-day event now, so that's what's going to be so interesting about it. Schooling fish probably be a factor for somebody that does well, but I imagine the deep brush piles.
Cane piles.
I don't know if there's cane in that lake or not. There probably is, but there's a lot of brush in that lake, I'm sure. The boat traffic's going to be a little tricky with some of them, especially if they're fishing shallow on the weekend. But the tournament starts Friday, so I'll be following along and wishing Smoke good luck.
Smoke will probably win with an unofficial weight of 14 pounds.
Unofficial.
That's true. If you know Thrift,
Yep.
he doesn't have any fish in practice, can't get it bite, it's terrible, and he's always about 3 or 4 or 5 pounds off. He can't add very well.
The funny thing is,
He can't add very
I
well.
love Thrift to death, but when you ask him, you can flat out look him in the eye and say, how much weight you got? Now, he weighs all his fish. He has the weights on those coal balls, okay? He weighs all his fish with his Catch Commander scale.
It just slips his mind.
If he knows I have 1597 and say, Thrift, how much you got? Oh, maybe 12 pounds.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
drew him in
12
the Potomac 2 years
Here
ago.
we go.
Yeah,
We got an eyewitness.
We can talk about him. He's not
I
here.
I was a co-angler, man. And
We should have just used the whole show to talk about Thrift.
I know, he's awesome. So I was so nervous being his co-angler because it was for Angler of the Year. There's a lot of money on the line. So I didn't want to make a mistake. And I'm just trying to learn everything and not throw over him. whatnot. And anyway, so we got about 30 minutes to go, and we sit down, and he's weighing them up, turn the little balls, and he said, when he added them up, he had 15.7, something like, just throwing a number out, 15.7.
Actual weight of what
Actual weight.
Gotcha.
I was adding them up. He had 15.7. He goes, all right, 15.7. All right. And then literally he put them back in the live weight, looked at me, he goes, I ain't got it, Josh. I ain't got about 12 pounds.
That's funny you said that, because I actually remember you telling me that. Because he weighed them.
Yes.
Marked them, put them in his live well, said, okay, I got 15 pounds, 7 ounces.
Yeah.
Gets on the front deck, turns around to Josh, who's fishing as his co-angler that day, and says, what?
I ain't got it. I ain't got about 12 pounds. Knowing he just had 15. I love
There's
it.
a lot going on out there. Numbers.
Rip, what are you talking about? You
tough.
just told me 15. I watched you weigh them.
A lot can happen in 30 seconds.
That was an awesome experience.
That's true, Jacob. He said better than Ike screaming about 22 pounds and weighing in 16. So yeah, I agree. It's better than saying, calling 3-pounders 6-pounders and getting my wife and anybody that's watching that cares what I'm doing's hopes up, and then I bring in 17 pounds and I told everybody I had 25. So then you just look like an idiot. I mean, simple fact. All right, so where are we at? What am I missing here? A New York preview. Okay, I'm getting ready to leave Friday. I'll be gone for about 17 or 18 days. I've got back-to-back elite tournaments. I got one on the St. Lawrence River, which I absolutely cannot wait to get to. I've never been there. The next event is on Cayuga. I've never been there. Always excited to go to new fisheries. Both of those will be smash fests. I guarantee it. Be sure to follow along on Bassmaster.com. You don't want to miss that live coverage. If you like to see 4 and 5 pound and some 6-pounders probably, smallies, then you will see them at the St. Lawrence, guaranteed.
Can you tell us how you're going to catch them? How do you plan on catching them?
I'm going to be I got a box full of Titan Tungsten cylinder drop shot weights, and I imagine the drop shot, just historically speaking, is going to be a big player there. It's a little bit later in the year. August rolls around, and most of those fish have kind of set up for their deals out deep. And a lot of those guys last time, I was doing my research, and they caught them anywhere from 20 to 40 feet. They caught them all the way out to 40. So I've actually got 5 spinning rods rigged up in my box right now. 2 of them have drop shots on them. And nice. I may have 4 with drop shots on them when the tournament starts. Who knows? But I appreciate all the good luck wishes, guys. Thanks a lot. And what am I missing? Anything? If you got any questions about anything, we got a couple minutes. Let's see. Yeah, we got 2 or 3 minutes. So any questions? I know we usually do some tip and technique stuff. I know it's a little bit different show tonight with Josh in the house. We want to talk about Titan Tungsten, and we wanted to do our big giveaway, which we're definitely doing. So we'll roll into the trivia question here in just a minute. Anthony went back. He said no ring tie drop shot. Ring tie.
Ringtone?
Most of what I'm going to have is I don't know. The current's going to be so strong on the St. Lawrence because they've been in high water situation for several months now that I'll probably be using pretty heavy stuff, 3/8 and halves. Sometimes, and I'll give you a tip, sometimes when I go to those heavier drop shot weights, especially those half ounce, and I'm using them up north, I will go to a round tie. And the reason I do that is because when you go to I hear you. I knew you were going to say something. When you go to those cinch style or the pinch style, whatever you like to call them, on those heavier weights, and you go to make a cast or flip it out there, just the sheer actual force with that heavy weight on the bottom can sometimes pull that cinch loose, especially if those clips aren't good and tight. So I do like to go to a round tie if I'm fishing a 3/8 or half or even bigger. Very rarely do I ever fish bigger than a half. Usually a half gets the job done, even in the heavy current and even fishing up there really deep up north. So,
what shape? We got 3 shapes. Round, the teardrop, and the cylinder.
So we'll talk about drop shot shape weights, and that's a good question, Josh, because one thing about it is yeah, that's a good point, Adam. I've actually got extra Minn Kota trolling motor pins now in my boat. I've got 1 extra one, so hopefully I don't need more than 1 extra one. Hey, Ricky, what's up, man? Thanks for watching. Gobies and leeches for the drop shot, and yeah, absolutely, Aaron. That's why those smallmouth up north keep getting so big. When I'm dealing with a lot of rock, a lot of really rough bottom, a lot of hard structure, not necessarily brush piles, but just rock and concrete and bridges and roadbeds and things like that, I like the cylinder weights. And I like the cylinder weights because they come through all that stuff a lot better, especially the big boulders and things like that. The cylinder weights seem to not get hung up as bad. When your line slides in between a crevice of a rock or something like that, that cylinder sometimes will still slide out of it as opposed to a teardrop or a round style weight that'll get hung up in it every time. I do like the teardrops a lot. I use the teardrops a lot for open water, especially fishing like Lake St. Clair, which is all sand and grass basically. I use the teardrop style a lot. I like the teardrop style, not just because of the profile, but it does really good in brush. It does really good in brush. When I'm drop shotting brush, I use the teardrop style. And when I'm drop shotting just open bottom where it's not real hangy, I'll use the teardrops. Honestly, the only two shapes that I keep in my inventory in my tackle box is cylinder weights and teardrop weights. Those are the only two shapes I use. I don't have anything against any other shape, and everybody has their own preference. But those are the only two shapes that I ever use.
See, I like I'm just a Joe, but I have actually drop shot. When I started as a co-angler, I had someone tell me, well, just get you a drop shot. It don't matter where you go, just throw it. That's all you need is a drop shot. So that's literally what I did. If you remember, we went to dang Harris Chain, and I was flipping. You look back there and say, what are you doing? I was flipping with the drop shot. That's how bad I was. But anyway, like on a shell bed.
Power shotting's a big deal now. We need to talk about. We'll talk about that on another show. But power shotting's a big deal.
For now, in current, I fish a lot of TVA.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Josh Friend said teardrops actually show up on the graph better. So when you're actually visually computer gaming those fish and you're catching them off the graph on your 2D sonar, that's a good point, Josh, because if you go to the round style or the teardrop style, it will show up a little bit better on your graph than a cylinder style weight will. So that's a good point.
It is a good point. So for me, I fish TVA a lot. My favorite thing is fishing offshore. I love ledges. I've got probably 2,200 hours now on my old Humminbird units. Scanning around, I've loved looking for them. And I love throwing a drop shot because they get beat up on so much. And one thing I like doing, if the current is around 55,000, something like that, it's not just blowing through. I like to throw upriver like a 45-degree angle, and I like that ball shape. And I just kind of dead stick it and just pull back. And what it'll do, like a quarter ounce, it'll basically just kind of roll down through the current over shell beds, and you just kind of just hold a little bit of tension on it. And I feel like some of the other shapes don't do that as well. And that's just me. That's just personal preference. Everybody has their own personal preference. But that's why I designed that. I call it the cannonball, the round, is for that specific reason. Because I feel like, in current situations, it comes across hard stuff pretty,
well, that's
pretty
a good point, and it'll roll more. It'll
yeah,
move
absolutely.
More.
So you just kind of pull back on just a little bit and just kind of let it come down through there, and they can't stand it.
All right, so that's a good point, too.
So I've had a couple questions.
Yep.
TFL, what is it?
Yes, TFL.
Tell us.
TFL is the Totten Fishing League. So what we've done there is we've designed or built the TFL around online fishing. So what it does, it's instead of weighing the fish, because it's with the differences in scales and things like that, there's no way to accurately do that across the U.S. So it's length based. So we have rulers, these big hog trough official rulers. So you catch a fish, you put it on it, you submit the length of it, and it's your best 5. It auto culls. And we've had 300 anglers sign up for it last month.
Oh wow!
Bigger than there's a lot of great organizations out there, and we didn't know what kind of participation we would get when we started this thing, but I tell you, 300 anglers is a lot. And we have the Pro Series or the Pro Division, so that's broken down over bank, boat, and kayak.
You got somebody that won first place.
Awesome.
Just made a comment, John, right here.
Yes, John. He
in the first TFL.
He did. He won the
congrats,
first
John.
Pro Division boat. And just crushed it. So that is awesome. Everybody's saying if you don't live in Florida or Texas, you can't win it. And John showed them up.
Where's John located?
Can I tell him?
Well, I mean the state.
Yeah, Alabama.
You didn't have to tell him the lake.
Well,
I'm not gonna tell him the lake.
Yeah, I want him to know.
Gotta keep his
bad to
secrets
the
a little
bone.
bit secret.
So we do it that way. We got a pro division that's all, you get in there.
They want you to drop the link for that. Just FYI, Jeff. If
Drop the link for what?
FishTFL.com.
FishTFL.com.
So
well, I don't have to drop that. FishTFL.com.
Right.
I didn't know the link.
Just put it.
So
in
the
the
pro
link.
division is nationwide. It's all 50 states. So
I'll
you
do it.
get in there with the bad boys, and we have a lot of different frequencies. So my favorite is the month long. So the month long is what most of the guys do, and that allows you, because some guys may not be able to fish but 1 week in a month. Some guys can,
Right.
But you can't penalize guys that work really hard and may fish every day before work.
That's a good point.
So that gives them a chance to keep culling up. So we actually had 120 something inches. That's a big bag. Best 5. So we do that, and then we had some feedback.
Wait, best 5?
Your best 5, your length of your best 5 fish was 120 something inches was the biggest we've had so far. We had one guy weighing a 13 and a half pounder. Huge. I mean, when he had his hand on it,
120 inches in your best 5 fish?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you might not want to get in there.
I ain't
Hey,
getting
boys-
in there.
hey, them boys
I
in
ain't
the
got nothing
kayak.
for that, man.
Them
Moss
boys in the
Lake-
kayak
Moss Lake
don't,
I
ain't
ain't got nothing
fish.
for that.
don't play around.
That's 5, 22, 23
yeah,
inches?
yeah. It's,
Of course,
it's
that 13
stout.
pounder is probably about 27 inches long.
Yeah, it's big. So we do that, and then we had a lot of guys saying, hey,
Stop saying Alabama.
roll tide. That is funny. So we did that, and we had some guys saying, hey, I live in Minnesota. I can't compete with these guys on Okeechobee or whatever. And I said, okay. So I actually went down and I looked up. I'm a data guy, so I looked up the state record for every state, and I broke it down based on that in regions. So we have the central region, the western region, the northeast, southeast, and I call it the Lunker division, which is Florida, Texas, and California. So we got some really, really cool things coming on there. We've actually developed our own app for it. We look at these pain points and we try to solve those. So, everybody else in the industry uses the identifier cards. So you got to go print these cards out the night before and put these codes on them. So we're trying to solve those issues and do things a little bit differently. So we have a new app coming out for that. And I think the coolest thing about this is that what we're going to do is for the pro divisions. Now we have the challenge series, which is regional, so kind of a cash deal. And then the pro divisions, what we're going to do is we're going to use that for our kind of like our feeder league. So we're going to take the winners, whoever wins Angler of the Year of that, whoever wins Angler of the Year of the boat division, we're going to wrap their boat. We're going to give them a chunk of money and some pretty cool prizes and put them on one of the Totten pro teams for next year.
I did not know that.
That's
pretty dang sweet.
That is, man. And what better way than to prove it? It's kind of like, moving up to the opens, things like that, the Costas, these
That's
guys
awesome.
that are
That
getting
is
out
very
there, working
Did you drop
hard.
that link?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't see it.
Fish
I just wasn't paying attention.
TFL.com.
So it's something different. And
FishTFL.com.
I like it because it allows you to kind of fish at your own pace and fish, fish the waters that you like. You're not bound to a certain fishery. And also the guys that, may not be able to fish all the time, you can kind of fish on your own schedule. So
Max Holiday had a question. Is it the best 5 caught throughout the month or a weekend event?
it's a mixture. So we have month-long events. We have one-day special events like we did for the July 4th. We have weekend
Justin
events.
Cato actually answered his question there.
Oh, my
So
man,
it
Cato.
depends on which tournament you enroll in.
I wish we could get Cato on live. He does the best Bryan Thrift impersonation.
Tell him to send you a video and we'll roll it.
Cato, you got to. He had me. He come by the warehouse, and I didn't know he could do it. And he pulled out the Mickey Stinger impersonation.
You send us a video.
and
It's going
almost
on the
fell the
show.
floor.
Please, Cato,
Send us a video.
Send us a video.
It will go live on the show.
We might even boost that post to the world.
Hey, I ain't kidding. When I say it's good, that boy's good.
Yeah, I mean, we might.
Send me that video. We need to do it on like TikTok where they can do it together.
Anthony said he's back to 98% sold now. All right, so
right.
we're out of time. We've been out of time.
Back to 98%.
Josh, thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's been awesome to see what Titan's done in such a short amount of time. A lot of cool things still in the works. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So it's trivia question time. Don't forget Shannon Lewis to send us a message, and we'll get together a package for you.
Absolutely.
Be sure to send us a message with your all your mailing information.
He's got it. He's posted a couple times. On
Okay,
the feed.
cool. All right.
Shirt sizes and stuff I haven't seen. He may have posted it. and I missed it. But if you haven't, please put it in there, Shannon.
John Braun said the Alaskan largemouth record is 7.5 inches. I didn't even know Alaska
Ouch.
had a largemouth anywhere in it.
They don't want to mess with Florida then.
Yeah. All right, so Jeff dropped that link, fishtfl.com. It is pretty legit. Brian, thanks for the kind words. And guys, everybody and gals, thanks again for tuning in. It's trivia question time. So I got a good one for you. Are you doing a drum roll?
Yeah.
Drum roll, please.
What's the answer?
What do they do on Christmas vacation?
Don't say the answer. Just show me the answer. What's the answer so I know?
I didn't write it down. I
don't even know the question.
Oh, well, you don't need to know the question. You just need to know the answer. Can you read that?
Yep. Got
All
it.
right, got the answer. Jeff's in charge of the feed. So the first correct answer that comes across Jeff Walsh's feed, not mine, not Josh's, is the winner. And whoever wins, send us a message with your shipping information, and you'll get this package valued at around $150. All right, so here we go. I need to know who was the very first bass professional angler, BASS professional angler, to hit the $1 million mark in bass prizes. Who was the first BASS professional angler to hit the $1 million mark in BASS prizes? That includes money and boats and everything, but it's just BASS stuff.
Go Pats. Warren Beer, thanks. Go Pats.
Huh? Go Pat. Where'd that come from?
He just said go Pats.
Go
Pats.
Perfect. Oh, all right. So it was not Gary Klein. It was not David Dudley. That was David's FLW. So don't forget that. All right, we got answers starting to roll in. Jeff, you looking?
I'm watching. Watching.
I'm seeing a lot of answers. So, all right. Anything else that we missed? Anything cool coming up with Titan in the next? I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. There's some stuff we can't talk about.
Yep.
We don't want to jump the gun on anything, but we definitely have some really cool stuff coming out.
Jigs. That's number one. We got a lot of cool stuff coming out. We're going to try. I know it's
I'm
really
glad to hear you say
aggressive.
that.
I know it's really aggressive. We're going
Yep.
to try to release a new product every month for the next 6 months. I know it's aggressive, but the biggest thing, man, I can't tell you how excited I am about the jigs and the attention to detail that went into it. We went back and forth on keepers and colors and hooks and everything else. So I'm super excited about that. I'm excited about having our own app for TFL. Just a lot of good things,
Yeah.
and we couldn't do it without you guys. So I mean, I thank each and every one of you, and I want a special thanks to my wife, Tamika. She's the boss.
Gotta give the wife a shout out.
I'm telling you,
Gotta give the wife a shout
she's
out.
the boss. She runs the show. I don't
We
really
do
get
have
to
a winner,
fish
right?
much.
Yes.
Okay.
And when I do get to go out, like we took out Whiskey Myers, the band, Friday. So whenever I'm gone, she makes sure everything's good to go. So love you, sweetheart. Thank you for keeping this business running.
All right, so who's the winner, Jeff?
Kristen Wallace, a.k.a. the better half of Ernie Wallace.
Really?
Yes.
Kristen's the winner. Kristen, congratulations.
That's
And send us a message with your shipping information. If we don't already have it, we may already have it. But send us a message anyway with your shipping information. And congratulations to Chris. And I hope
Larry
you're-
Nixon was the answer, by the way. Did you say that?
Oh, yeah, Larry Nixon was the correct answer. Yes, I apologize. Larry Nixon was the correct answer. I hope that you're going to share some of this stuff with Ernie, since we know how much Ernie likes to fish.
Just
but
a smidge.
A lot of really cool stuff coming your way. And guys and gals, thanks again for watching. When we can't go fishing, we'll sit right here on Tuesdays and do what, Jeff?
Talk fish.
Talk fish. You always say it right. Thrift's like, throw a Demake stinger, or wear my cargo shorts, or drink Sundrop. Or
Hey.
he never says it right.
I ain't got but 12
I
pounds.
I do have cargo shorts on, and I got a sun drop.
Say that again.
I ain't
For
got
you,
but 12
Thrift.
pounds.
Sounds just like
Oh, you just wait till you hear my boy Kato.
All right, Kato, don't forget to send us that video.
Send us a video.
Absolutely.
I will literally push traffic until it reaches like 100,000 views.
Yes.
Send us the video.
Everybody wish Smoke good luck at the Cup this week, and we'll see y'all soon.
Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Fish. Visit our private Facebook group to continue the conversation, post your questions, and talk with other fellow anglers at facebook.com/groups/Let's Talk Fish. Follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk Fish Official, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exclusive content. Join us again next episode for more actionable tips, tactics, and techniques directly from the pros. And remember, when we can't go fishing, we're going to sit right here and talk fish.